Hi everyone, it is time for a new video, and today we're going to be doing a romance novella recommendation video. So this is honestly long in the making. I feel like I maybe did it once before, but I'm not even fully sure about that. And I have absolutely loved reading romance novellas for years now, and I have literally I think 150 books saved on my Goodreads shelf that is, romance novellas. And I'm gonna link that down below if you want to check that whole list out, because obviously we're not gonna go through even 20% of that. I've found so many good ones that actually feel, really well fleshed out and developed, but they're still super quick, fun reads. And I want to do this because, if you're maybe catching up on your reading challenge before the end of the year, or if you just, are tired around the holidays and you want to find just a little bit of time to read something. Honestly, this obviously is good for pretty much any time whatsoever, but that is kind of the purpose. And a lot of the authors that I'm going to tell you about also have quite a lot of novellas, because a lot of authors, especially on Kindle Unlimited or something, do mainly novellas and not even full-length novels, so it's gonna lead you to even more recommendations. So let's just jump straight into it. So I do actually have a few physical copies here that I'll start with, and then we're gonna dive further in. And also one thing that I want to point out is that I do have quite a variety of the lengths of the books in here, because I don't fully remember what actually qualifies as a novella. Usually, technically it's a word count, which I obviously don't know. So some of this is going to be 40, 50 pages for the people who really want something short. And then there's going to be 150, 60 pages for the people who want a little bit longer, but still not a novel, So let's dive straight in. And I do think I will actually start with one of my favorite authors of all time and some of the books that I have, because I do own 4 of them now, and that is Rilzy Adams. I adore Rilzy. I think I want to start with the first book that I ever read by her, which at this point, if you are into indie romance, you should know about this, but if you don't, just in case, I need to point it out because this is one of my favorite romances, and it's a novella, and that is Go Deep by Rilzy Adams. This is honestly what kicked off my novella journey, my best friends to lovers journey, and just my love for Rilzy Adams. And she has basically almost all of her books are novellas. Some are very short, some are a little bit longer, so there's quite a variety. And she writes absolutely incredible romances. They're also all Black love romances, and they're just perfect, absolutely perfect. Even though they're short, I've loved every single one of them because I still feel connected to the characters, and they're sweet and sexy at the same time, and it's just the best thing in the world. So this one, again, like I kind of said, is a best friends to lovers romance, and it actually is best friends to lovers, and it made me realize that friends to lovers, but best friends to lovers, best thing ever. So the 2 main characters, Novella and Xander, have been best friends for a long time, and they can't really keep any other relationship because obviously they're in love with each other, and Novella is also a romance author struggling with inspiration, and let's just say that Xander is gonna help her out. So this is the best thing on earth, and you need to pick this up. And I will probably, I think, not give you that many details about these books because obviously they're novellas, so I'll probably keep it to the tropes or vibes or something, but yeah. So then we have 2 very short ones, and one is Surrender, and it is tiny, and it is also very, very fun and steamy and amazing. So this is kind of slightly second chance, I think. I actually honestly need to reread this because I don't fully remember the details, and it is 57 pages, so very, very steamy and very fun. Then we have Treble, which is a polyamorous romance. This one is a little bit longer, and it is 100 pages. And I absolutely love this. I felt it has the trope that's a couple finds a new person to join their relationship. And I've read quite a few books like this. I might actually have another recommendation for that in this video, and I absolutely love that, honestly. I feel it usually works so well, the dynamic of the established couple and this new hot stranger, absolutely best thing ever, and you need to check it out. And the last one here is honestly actually maybe not a novella. Oh, this is a novel, but bonus mention, it is still a short novel. It is 240 pages, but that is When Love Ignites, and this is an office romance and also hate love. So then I have another one of my all-time favorite authors, and I do have two books here. Wait. And that is, of course, Talia Hibbert. So Talia actually, I think maybe has more novellas than this, but these are the two that I own, and I do think they have like a few shorter novels, but whatever. These are the ones that I own and I absolutely adore. So that is Guarding Temptation and Damaged Goods. So Guarding Temptation is also a best friends to lovers romance, and they basically, there's like forced proximity. They have to move in together for convenience reasons, and it's kind of has like a slight bodyguard trope, and it is absolutely wonderful, very steamy also, and just like absolutely amazing. Damaged Goods is one of my all-time favorite books of all, what did I just say? Basically, like, I consider this one of my favorite romances of all time, and so obviously, even though it's a novella, it clearly packs, you know, a punch, and I personally adore it. And I honestly kind of hesitate to recommend this because this is one of like the most meaningful books to me that like I adore with my whole heart, and I don't want to hear anyone say any bad thing about it. I don't want to hear it. But, you know, so please treat this book with care, you know, or, you know, but I adore this book incredibly a lot, and it is a little bit longer once again, but it is still under 200 pages. And it's basically like a second chance romance where the two of them grew up in this small town and they were torn apart by life, and they find each other again. And so it's small town and a lot of like healing, care, love, the most tender, emotional, beautiful, safe romance ever, and it means everything to me. So yeah, this one is, I think, more on the emotional side. While it still is steamy and whatever, it is very emotional. So like if you want more emotional depth, yeah, this is perfect. So these are, I think, all the ones that I have physically, but we have a long list. So the next one is a recently discovered author for me that I'm already in love with, and that is Lady Marie, and specifically I have Sweet Heat here. So technically this is like kind of a companion series that is Sugar Sugar and then Sweet Heat. So I recommend both of these, loved them both, and they're both very fun, hot little novellas that are, these are like, I think Lady Marie has like all the books quite short, like either under 200 pages or just over, but these are shorter than like the other two that I haven't read yet. So Sugar Sugar is 67 pages according to Goodreads, and Sweet Heat is 89. So I honestly feel like that's a really good number for a novella that like gives you enough time to get to know them, but it's still super short and super quick to read. But at the same time, they're so well developed and both very sexy and super fun. Sugar Sugar is basically like a sugar daddy novella, and Sweet Heat is once again sort of like a polyamorous established couple finds another person, and it's MFF, and it is wonderful. And this is another author who writes Black love romances, and this one also, it just had like such great communication. It also felt like very safe and like still fun also, and it's just like absolutely wonderful, and they're all on Kindle Unlimited. So definitely check out Lady Marie. Then I have a book that I feel like basically no one knows about, that is like the shortest thing ever, but still really good somehow. And that is The Magical Femme by Fiona Zed. So Fiona Zed writes very fun, steamy, sapphic adult romances, and I feel like if you have been looking for that, you need to check it out. And it's also another Black author, so if you want Black and queer sapphic love stories, you need to check out Fiona Zed, and they're also very sexy, so yeah. And a lot of these are novels actually, but this one specifically is like a short story, not even a novella, and there's basically then like a full-length novel about the two of them that I also read and loved, and it is absolutely wonderful. Like somehow it like made me already feel connected to the characters, and it's like a steamy fun, like they're strangers and they meet at a bar situation, but it is just really good, and I need more people to read it. And like if you want something super short, this is perfect. So then I have a historical romance, and that is A Date Until Forever by Erin Langston. And I conveniently wrote down some tropes in my review. So that is: dislike to love, forced proximity, funny, steamy, sweet, and super quick to read historical romance novella. So I think this is also on Kindle Unlimited, and I really love Erin Langston's writing, and it felt like so cozy and fun and wonderful. And honestly, I think I read it like a year ago at this point, and I do really want to read it again in the winter, so definitely check it out. So then I have a book that I loved with my whole heart, and I actually really want to reread super soon as well, and that is The Night of the Wedding by Jay Brosen. So I adored this. Just desperately hope that they're gonna write more books. It is like a, again, very steamy romance novella, but like the way that I felt so connected to the characters in this, and I was just like, even though they were also strangers that like meet at this wedding, they just have such a strong spark, and like I'm just like, you know, immediately felt like, oh my gosh, like they need to be together, and it just worked so well, and it was just like the perfect amount of like emotional and sweet and sexy and just absolutely perfect. And you need to read it. So it is available on Scribd. So this one, I don't know if it's on Kindle Unlimited, but I did see it on Scribd, and so definitely check it out. Okay, then I have another historical romance and another author recommendation, and that is A Rake, His Patron, and Their Muse by Nicola Davidson. Nicola Davidson also is a historical romance author who also writes a lot of novellas. There's also some novels, but a lot of novellas, and they're all just like very fun, very sex positive, especially, which I feel like is really great to see in a historical romance specifically. And they're just absolutely wonderful and perfect, again, if you want something super quick and fun. So this one, again, is polyamorous, and I honestly also need to read this because I don't really remember details, but definitely check it out. And I feel like also polyamorous romance and historical romance also feels just very fun. Okay, then I have a little bit of a different recommendation that's not like kind of a different vibe. I think it doesn't really have any smut in it, but if that's, you know, something that you'd like, it is still like absolutely wonderful romances. And that is Cara Bastone. And I've absolutely adored all of her books, like incredibly a lot. And it's specifically the Love Lines series that's with Call Me Maybe, Sweet Talk, and Seatmate. And they're all basically like audiobooks, but I think at this point they're released in ebooks as well. And like the way, again, that I felt like it managed to get me invested in the characters immediately, and it was just like breathtaking. And these are also like an audiobook production that has like narrators for every single character, and there's also sound effects and everything, and it was just like so cool, so like it made it so vivid and cool and just absolutely wonderful. And I highly recommend these books. Cara Bastone also writes just like normal novels as well that are also incredibly emotional, touching, beautiful, and perfect, and she's definitely one of my favorite authors as well. And if you have not read her books, you need to check it out. So if you want the like less steamy, more emotional books, definitely check her out. The full-length novels do, however, have some steamy scenes in them. Okay, the next one is a little bit different again, and I just have to mention it, and that is Miss LaFoe by Kimberly Lemming. So I'm so happy because I actually don't know, I hope this is still available normally, but I know this series has been picked up by a traditional publisher, and Miss LaFoe is like a novella in this that's like not a part of the main series, but it's still like in the same world. And this is a fantasy romance novella that has fake dating, and it is just like so steamy, so fun, magical, cozy, and wonderful. If you want fantasy romances that are cozy and not like dangerous that much and focus on the romance and are just super fun, you need to check out Kimberly Lemming and the series. Okay, and I think my last recommendation is gonna be The Mistletoe Motive by Chloe Leese. This is a Christmas book. I am gonna make some Christmas recommendation videos, but I think I'll make that honestly soon, but just maybe not yet, just, you know, after this. And this one, however, is one of my favorite Christmas books, and it was the first book that I read by Chloe Leese that made me think, you know what, she's gonna be one of my favorite authors. And since then I have read her like novels, and I can tell you, I do adore her. So this one, like I said, is a Christmas book, and also like this cover is incredibly cute. I honestly desperately want to buy this physically, and it has like the "you've got mail" trope, which is something I absolutely love. It is like 180 pages, so if you want a bit of a longer one, again, this is perfect for that. It has rivals to lovers, there's a bookstore, there's also demisexual and diabetes representation, and it is just like so swoony, so romantic, so sweet. Absolutely perfect. Obviously cozy and Christmassy and festive and wonderful. So that is going to be my recommendations for romance novellas. Again, I could go on and on for ages, so let me know if you want more of this, or if there's any specific tropes or like vibes that you would like to see in this, or a genre, because I feel like it was still like a slight mixture of genres. And yeah, if you made it this far in the video, leave a shoe emoji down below. I don't know where that came from, but why not? And thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have ambitions to read a lot of books before the end of the year, or if you're just chilling, or you know. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. Bye.